Hello everybody, and welcome to Chabot News for May 1st, 2025. It's the one and only Lamont Lujan, and today we'll be covering National Pretzel Day, an explosion caused by a tractor trailer, and flooding in Louisiana. In sports news, Chris has the latest updates on the NFL draft, and for top 5, we have Susan and her top 5 Minecraft Java Edition versions. All that and more coming up in today's edition of Chabot News. A new study is offering a glimpse into decisions of OBGYN doctors following a major U.S. Supreme Court ruling on abortion in 2022. The ruling, known as the Dobbs decision, revoked the federal right to an abortion. The research published on Monday in the JAMA Network Open Medical Journal shows the number of OBGYNs in states with abortion bans increased slightly in the months following the decision. That's in line with changes we've seen in states where abortion remained legal. How that data also shows the ruling may affect future doctors. According to the Association of Medical Colleges, medical residents are increasingly avoiding states with abortion bans. In 2023, the number of applicants to residency programs in states with near total abortion bans dropped by more than 4%, compared with less than 1% of states where abortion remains legal. But the American College of Obstetrics and the Gynecology says interest in the field remains strong, with the number of applicants to OBGYN residency positions exceeding the number of spots available. CNN has learned the Trump administration quietly released key climate change data last week that did not contain typical expert analysis. The lack of content minimized the government's own finding that atmospheric levels of carbon dioxide spiked by a record amount in 2024. Historically, the data's release comes with expert analysis from government scientists at the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration. The agency quietly released the annual data on Facebook and X on April 14. The social media post link to a NOAA webpage with CO2 data tracking. NOAA is one of the many agencies going through budget and staffing cuts. A recent Trump administration budget plan would dramatically reduce funding for climate research. That would include the closure of a lab that makes and publicizes CO2 measurements. President Trump is having a surprising unifying effect in Canada. Voters say their upcoming national election will be a turning point in their relationship with America, as tariffs and insults have resulted in a surge of patriotism. Some voters say they are rethinking their approach, even planning to change which party they vote for in hopes of a stronger response to the United States. John King reports.
The Trump effect on Canada's election cannot be overstated. You see more Canadian flags now, more of these signs too. Federal elections here are often defined by East versus West, urban versus rural, English versus French, liberal versus conservative. But Trump versus Canada defines this one. Just weeks ago, some of the flowers here at Lola Blooms came from the United States. Not anymore. Sisters-in-law Lindsay Smith and Caitlin Strain are buying elsewhere now. Their answer to Trump's threats of tariffs, or making Canada the 51st state.
It's more Donald Trump. I feel like he's a bully in this situation. We're supposed to be allies. We thought we're on like a friendship level.
They both traditionally support the Green Party, but both are leaning liberal this time.
If the liberals are going to win or the conservatives are going to win, you want them to win by what? A healthy enough margin?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that they're viewed as a strong leader?
Yeah,
Yes,
you put your vote where it counts a little more in this situation.
And is that just because of Donald Trump?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Canadians see this as much bigger than who gets the most seats in Parliament and gets to pick a prime minister. It's about spending more in the military, buying local, finding new markets and new partners, dropping any thought the ruts with Trump can just be smoothed over.
I put up a flag myself. I never thought I would put up a Canadian flag, but I think when it comes down to crunch time, Canadians really gather up.
Toby Gorman is an environmental journalist and author, and a pickup hockey player in the Canadian Beer League.
Just push it.
Gorman says he is hardly alone here in rethinking everything.
We're just sick of him, and it's only been 3 months into the term. It's, he's going to annex us. He wants to crush us economically. I think at first it was kind of like losing your best friend, where it's like, what just happened? Like, what's happening? But now I think we're at the point where it's like, well, we can move on.
That's a big shift.
Okay, need a puck.
This election defined by the belief Canada and the United States are suddenly more rivals than neighbors. Suddenly, no longer skating in the same direction. Back at the beginning of the year, conservatives held a giant 25-point advantage, and they said this race should be about the cost of living and about ending nearly a decade of liberals in power. But heading into the final weekend, liberals now hold a modest edge. Their candidates making the case to Canadians that standing up to Trump should be their number one issue.
Thanks, John. Donald Trump and the subject matter regarding tariffs are still an ongoing issue for everyone across the globe. President Trump has visited Michigan on April 29th. He's scheduled to hold a rally, making this his 100th day in office. Michigan is known for its auto industry and also nicknamed Detroit the Motor City. Ahead of the visit, Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick is hitching a potential good news for automakers. Amy Kelly reports that hint comes as they prepare for another new tariff.
We're hearing from a lot of different sectors.
The Trump administration is indicating it has reached a deal with automakers involving tariffs. They face a potential 25% duty on most parts that's been slated to begin by Saturday. It's in addition to the tariffs already in place for steel, aluminum, and almost all imported vehicles. The Commerce Secretary says the auto deal rewards, quote, companies who manufacture domestically while providing runway to manufacturers who have expressed their commitment to invest in America. It's unclear what that means, but in a statement, GM's CEO says she's grateful to President Donald Trump. His tariffs often appear fluid.
He's fearless in fighting for every American because these things will benefit our economy and will benefit every American.
Another trade policy change this week involves Chinese imports worth $800 or less. They're set to lose their tariff exemption Friday. Some Chinese e-commerce companies say they've increased prices for U.S. customers as a result. A new poll suggests Americans don't like paying more for products as a result of tariffs. The CNN survey shows 59% of respondents think Trump has made the U.S. economy worse. It also backs up other polls indicating his overall approval rating is stumbling.
This Trump poll from CNN just spells trouble for the Trump presidency, part 2.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Thanks, Amy. Beijing denies its involvement in trade talks with the U.S. despite President Trump's claims otherwise. With Donald Trump's ever-declining approval rating, I decided to go out and ask Chabot students about their thoughts on Donald Trump after his first 100 days in office. All right, so what are your reactions to the first 100 days of Trump's presidency?
Depression. I'm depressed. I feel like it's coming to an end. The world is coming to the end.
What are your reactions to Trump's first 100 days in office?
See, from the get-go, I don't like Trump. From the get-go. But also, I feel like a convicted felon, because if it was somebody of my color, a convicted felon wouldn't even have the chance to become president. Also, how he pardoned himself and his families from the crimes they committed. So I don't like that. Also, his the stuff that's going on with the border right now, how he's playing, how he said he gonna create a gold card, and that's for rich billionaires to come pay money and be citizens of the United States, but taking out other people who's working jobs here and trying to make a living.
Thank you. What are your reactions to Trump's first 100 days in office?
I am not surprised. Honestly, am I standing too far back?
No, you're perfectly fine.
Okay. I'm not surprised. Honestly, Trump's first 100 days in office really proved to me that you can really target a targeted audience, feed them misinformation, and based off loyalty, they will choose you, and you can backdoor them. And when I mean, excuse me, not to be unprofessional, but backdooring, I mean as though make a promise to them and be greasy and go back on every word that you promised them.
What are your reactions to Trump's first 100 days in office?
Honestly, it makes me a little bit scared for humanity because the amount of bills he's passed and the amount of things that the Trump administration has done is absolutely horrendous to people who are to marginalized groups of people. Like, they are suffering. People of color, people in the LGBT community, transgender, women, definitely. I feel like everything he's done so far is absolutely horrendous because it only benefits the white male population.
Thank you. A new civil lawsuit filed on Wednesday, April 23rd, has drawn Cal State East Bay into a nationwide privacy scandal involving former University of Michigan football coach Matt Weiss. According to the suit, Weiss hacked into the private data of more than 150,000 student athletes from over 100 universities, allegedly targeting female athletes to steal their intimate photos and videos. One CSU East Bay student is named as a victim. Attorneys say that the universities failed to protect its students and are calling for stronger data safeguards. Weiss now faces federal charges including identity theft and unauthorized computer access. Few universities have alerted students about the breach, and many victims ignored Department of Justice notices, mistaking them for scams. Lawyers say this reflects a deeper issue of institutions failing to protect those who trust them the most. Now to Chris with sports news. Take it away.
Green Bay, Wisconsin is used to hosting Packers fans and fans of whatever team is competing against theirs. But starting Thursday, hundreds of thousands of every team's football fans will descend on the city for the NFL draft. As Kendall Keys reports, security is at high level for the event.
The calm before NFL draft kickoff. Fencing and security personnel already surrounds Lambeau Field 3 days before first pick. The league's director of security says Green Bay is ready.
Your public safety partners in this area are phenomenal. They have done an outstanding job. They've been working on this for a year.
Public safety partners preparing for an estimated 250,000 football fans over the course of 3 days. Officials comparing it to 3 Packers football games in a row.
There are 2 main things that we look at that make this event very different from a Packer game. One is the potential size of the crowd. The other is just the size of the footprint.
A footprint spanning 70 football fields, metal detectors and concrete barriers staged at entry points to funnel fans in. Plan to travel light and leave your purses and backpacks at home. Only clear bags are allowed inside the draft. This is one of 2 entry points where everyone will go through airport-level security screening. The FBI says it's been monitoring the web for any threats for the past year.
There are not any known threats to the draft this year.
We just want people to bring their energy, support their clubs, have a wonderful time.
Thanks, Kendall. The city of Green Bay has spent more than $1 million on security measures. The principal of a middle school in Kansas City, Kansas, says this fall he's going to have a side job. And it's one you might not expect from someone who has devoted his life to education. Fernanda Silva explains.
I'm going to send him back around to get in line over here.
Principal Smith knows all about making the calls.
Yep, all the way down.
And making sure the rules are being followed.
Get on your bus, let's go.
He's been working in education for years.
We need to hold bus 411, hold bus 411.
This season, he started his journey as a principal.
Being a rookie twice in 1 year is very odd, but I think I'm ready for the challenge.
He will also be a rookie somewhere else. In the NFL, as an umpire. He says the 2 professions are similar in many ways.
In both aspects, you deal with the unknown problem, It's brought to you. You have to know the rules. You have to know the district policy. You have to satisfy one or both parties.
His game plan includes continuing to work as a principal. And how did students react?
Oh my goodness. They keep asking for my autograph.
The kind of attention he will be getting all season long in many ways.
We always want to make sure that he's making the right calls when he's out there. I don't want to have to criticize him when he returns back to the building. So we'll be overlooking him while he's on TV at all times.
But the pressure from coworkers also comes in the form of support.
I'm anticipating him and confident that he will enter the NFL as a first-year veteran and not a rookie.
Let's go, keep walking.
From school bell to game whistle, Smith says he's ready to take on the NFL.
Thanks, Fernanda. This will not be Smith's first officiating experience. He was chosen to lead the officiating crew for the United States Football League Championship game in 2023. He also worked the 2022 Sugar Bowl and has nearly a decade of officiating in the Big Ten Conference. That's it for sports news this week. Now back to you, Lamont.
Thanks, Chris. A tornado was caught on camera in Springfield, Massachusetts. Let's take a look. A tornado can be seen moving through the Springfield area around Interstate 44. Springfield posted this on Twitter /X earlier this morning that 90-mile-per-hour winds have been observed by the NWS at the airport in Springfield. In this rare footage, we see the funnel cloud forming rapidly and descending towards the ground. This devastation serves as a reminder of the importance of safety and preparedness during this unexpected weather event. In North Carolina, an explosion caused by a tractor trailer has occurred. This is what we know. Part of Interstate 40 in North Carolina will remain closed until Wednesday after a crash caused a tractor trailer to explode. Authorities say the driver of the tractor trailer hit a car from behind, causing the semi to overturn. A pickup truck then crashed into the tractor trailer, causing the fire. A box truck crashed into the median while swerving to avoid the damage. The driver of the tractor trailer was airlifted from the scene with injuries. 3 other drivers were taken to local hospitals with minor injuries. A hazmat team is working to repair the road. Now it's time for Top 5 with Susan.
Hey yo, my name is Susan Gonzalez and this is my top 5 Minecraft Java Edition versions. At my number 5 spot is 1.13, the Aquatic Update. This version was a start to the huge scale updates added to the game. It made swimming a thing and attracted players to a once neglected area, the oceans. This version also brought in a lot more players and cool features like the conduit, coral, and vast variety of tropical fish. At my number 4 spot is 1.18, the Caves and Cliffs Update Part 2. This update completely changed world generation and allowed for insanely huge caves and mountains, something the community had been asking for years. From beautiful lush caves to spiky driftstone, this update changed the way players mine and explore the world. At number 3, I place 1.21.5. We don't talk about how 1.21 is like 3 different updates in one, but because it is the latest version, it gives access to all the cool things added to the game. The blocks, structures, and mobs that Mojang has cooked over the years. Playing normal survival Minecraft in this version allows for chill gameplay, casual building, or, if you're up for the challenge, is a scary one with the Creaking and Warden. My number 2 spot, while it had minor updates, is 1.8.9. This is a version right before the combat update and the one in which most servers continue to run on, such as Hypixel. The reason why I love this version so much is due to the combat in mini games like Bed Wars and Sky Wars. I have spent way too much time playing this version for me to hate it. At my first spot, speedrunner's favorite, I have 1.16.1, the Nether update. On top of it being the best version to speedrun the game due to the complete revamp of the Nether, 1.16 was the last update where we had to strip mine for diamonds, the update where netherite was added, implementing a new way to upgrade gear, and where they added an entirely new system with the integration of bastions and piglin barding. These features completely changed how the game was played, hence making it the top pick for Minecraft versions. That's it for Top 5 this week. My name is Susan Gonzalez, and now back to you, Lamont.
Thanks, Susan. We're back on track with another driver hack. This time, we are practicing the third way to parallel park on the left side. With this three-part series, we check in with our reporter, Alan Sampson, as he went around town to ask some people about how they parallel park on the left side.
Zoom, zoom, zoom. Have you ever found yourself in an area having to parallel park on the left side? Well, here is 3 out of the 3 ways to parallel park on the left side. But before we get into this driver hack, we asked some people about their ways on how they parallel park.
I don't parallel park. I just order Uber. Well, I don't drive, so I don't need to.
I don't like people next to me in my car, so I have a handicap placard, so might as well use it.
Very appealing answers there. Let's get into our driver hack now. When parallel parking on the left side, the third way is to drive forward until your side mirror is aligned with the rear end of your parking space. Turn your steering wheel to the left. Drive in until your side mirror enters the parking space. Then, turn your steering wheel to the right. Drive forward, exiting out of your parking space until you are at a 35-degree angle with the vehicle in front. Straighten out your wheel and reverse in until your vehicle's front side left corner aligns with the front side right corner of the parking space. Turn right and reverse until you are in your parking space. The car goes right in. This is our third way to parallel park on the left side.
That's pretty Sigma. Applesauce.
Cool beans.
Remember to drive safely and please be courteous. I am Alan Sampson reporting for Chabot TV.
Nice to know that awesome driver hack. Can't wait to share this knowledge with the college. On this Earth Day, parts of the U.S. is dealing with ongoing flood risks after deadly storms. In the New Orleans area, some evening commuters have taken refuge on higher ground yesterday. Some who have ventured out appear to have encountered difficulties, including stalls and at least one crash. The Army Corps of Engineers says it took advantage of the high water to test a spillway in north of the city. Flooding also occurred in parts of the Houston area recently. In Oklahoma, several people are dead after weekend storms. This includes 2 children and their mothers who were swept away in the floodwaters. Now it's time for entertainment news with Bruce.
Thanks, Lamond. It's time to rock it out now. We now know the names of the artists who will be inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame later this year. A total of 7 artists are part of this year's class. They're Chubby Checker, Cyndi Lauper, Outkast, Soundgarden, The White Stripes, Bad Company, and Joe Cocker. The induction ceremony will take place in Los Angeles in November. Artists become eligible for nomination if it has been at least 25 years since they released their first commercial recording. Several other artists will also be honored at the ceremony. They include the band Salt and Peppa and the late Warren Zevon. The trial of a gang accused of robbing Kim Kardashian has begun in Paris. It comes nearly 9 years after the billionaire reality TV star was bound, gagged, and robbed at gunpoint during Paris Fashion Week. Melissa Bell reports from outside the courthouse.
It is a trial kicking off in the courthouse behind me this Monday in Paris that's expected to attract a lot of attention over the course of the next month. In the dock, 9 men and 1 woman who are accused of being behind the robbery that involved Kim Kardashian seeing $10 million worth of her jewelry stolen from her in a Paris hotel back in 2016. The details of the case quite extraordinary. It is alleged by the prosecution that those in the dock were behind this plot. They came into this hotel, a very exclusive, discreet hotel in the center of Paris, dressed as policemen. They arrived on foot and by bicycle, overpowered the concierge, and then it is alleged by the prosecution, held Kim Kardashian inside her hotel room for 10 terrifying minutes that she's spoken about later. Duct tape, she believed, she said that she would be raped and then maybe killed. Instead, they made off without doing any more harm to her than scaring her with $10 million worth of jewelry, including a $4 million ring that had been given to her as an engagement by her then husband, Kanye West. That theft and that ordeal had attracted such a great deal of attention. It is only now that it is finally being brought to trial. It is expected that Kim Kardashian herself will be in Paris on May 13th to testify and that a verdict will be reached by the end of the month. But here in France, the group have been dubbed the Grandpa Robbers, those accused of having carried out this attack. It is alleged by the prosecution that they gathered inside a Paris cafe to plot this following the TV star's whereabouts and what she had brought to Paris on her social media. That is according to court documents. We'll learn more about their fate at the end of May. Melissa Bell, Paris.
Thanks for that detailed report, Melissa. This should be an interesting trial. The robbers had no idea who Kim Kardashian was and no idea how much jewelry she had in her room. Can't wait to see how this concludes. That's all for entertainment news this week. Now back to you, Lamond.
Thanks, Bruce. Don't be afraid to get a little twisted on April 26th. It's National Pretzel Day. And the perfect excuse or opportunity to snack on the classic soft, crunchy, salty, sweet, cheesy. Pretzels are versatile. Pretzels date back to the time of the Crusades, as they were food approved for Catholics to eat during Lent. The food became popular in the U.S. in the 1700s due to the German immigrants. And you can score a free pretzel from popular chain Auntie Anne's on Saturday in honor of the observation. We have new stats on a volcano in Kilauea's ongoing eruption. The eruption began at 3:20 a.m. on December 23, 2024. According to the U.S. Geological Survey, lava is overflowing from the south vent and over 20% of the floor of Hanamalulu crater is covered in lava. There have been 18 episodes separated by pauses in activity since eruption began. Thursday is May Day, a traditional celebration of flowers and warmer weather. On many ancient calendars, May 1st, welcome the first of summer, was the cause of celebration. The summer solstice, the official start of the season, isn't actually until June 20th, but in many parts of the U.S., daffodils and other flowers are already in bloom. April showers may have brought May flowers. In the English tradition, the holiday is observed by crowning a May Queen and dancing around a May pole. Many Americans observe the day by planting flowers or delivering a basket of flower bulbs to friends and neighbors. Share your own May 1st celebration on social media with the hashtag #MayDay. That's all for Chabot News this week. Thanks to all the student and staff at the Mass Communications Department here at Chabot College for making this production possible. You can watch us anytime online at youtube.com/ChabotTV. Stay tuned to KCTH on Channel 27 on Comcast for more Chabot TV.